Day 3 of being self-isolated in my house with my family. Day 2 of me deciding I'm going to do a daily video on YouTube. And once again, it's like 11 o'clock at night. So by the time this posts, it will technically be tomorrow. Although I think yesterday's video also posted in the middle of the night, technically today. So we're on track. One video a day at the end of the day after I get my words in, after I do all sorts of family things. Today we went for a walk in the dark, keeping a nice social distance from the very few people that we saw out in our neighborhood. And so I want to do a short video tonight talking about the truth of the fact that not all marketing things work. I want to talk about the time I spent $6,000 on a book launch and did not see $6,000 of return on investment. ROI, return on investment. It's a really good marketing term, business term to know, to think about when you're an author, when you're a self-publisher, or even if you're with a trad publisher, because sometimes you'll be asked to do big marketing things, maybe go to a conference that you're going to pay a good chunk of the money for. And you're going to wonder, is this worth it? Am I going to see a direct return on this money? Is it an investment long term? That's a fair consideration too. Sometimes when you own your own business, and being an author in so many ways is being an entrepreneur, sometimes we make decisions for now that will benefit us later. But sometimes we are looking to get an immediate return on investment, ROI, and we put money into something because somebody else said that it worked, and then it doesn't work for us. And I've been there, and the thing is, the reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight on this video is because right now, in this time of international crisis, in this global pandemic, in this holy crap, I gotta make money, and suddenly making money is harder. Suddenly selling books is harder. Suddenly working on marketing copy is harder. All of that, when you're full of like good feelings and despair and concern and hope, and you like oscillate between those two extremes of feeling, it's very hard to like dial it in and do the work. And marketing copy and making a marketing plan, that's a ruthlessly commercial thing to do. Oh, I've got like the lights. I'm trying to fix the lighting down here. I have jury rigged a couple of different lighting solutions, and you can see them in my glasses, which is like pretty, I don't know, weird. Anyway, pretty weird. All right, back. So at a time like now, it can be very hard to make marketing choices. Sometimes when we are feeling that kind of panicky pinch, we will reach out and want to grab onto the tried and true that somebody who is successful has done. I've heard that Facebook ads are really successful. People run courses on them. Hey, maybe you saw somebody's ad before you watched this video for a marketing course, for a Facebook ads course. You think that's a surefire way to make money as an author. And here's the secret. There is no surefire way. For every course, for every book, including my own, that somebody has put out there and said, hey, this is a way to do it, there is somebody else out there, maybe lots of people out there, who have tried exactly that thing. Exactly that thing. They have put their due diligence into doing it almost exactly as that person said, and it just didn't work out because there are too many moving pieces to exactly replicate success. In fact, if you track an author's career, you will see ups and you will see downs. You'll see peaks and valleys in terms of success. And you can find all sorts of #1 New York Times bestselling authors who now no longer get anywhere near the bestseller list with their new releases. And they don't need to in order to continue having success in their career because they have like a nice big backlist which continues to sell, and their income is generated in different ways, and that's a great topic for a future video. But all the different moving pieces that led to them having success with strategy A, let's call whatever it is strategy A, you might think that you're going to try to replicate that as close as possible, and you don't have success with it. And the thing is that when they have success with it, they tell people. And when you don't have success with it, when I don't have success with it, I don't tell anybody, right? Well, that's not completely true. I tell some of my friends, and maybe my friends in turn might tell somebody else. Someone else might say, should I do one of those like really big book packages where, you get a PR company on retainer and you give them $3,000, and then in turn you spend a lot of money on paperback books for the big bloggers to give away with big gift cards, and that adds up to another $3,000. Should I do that? And maybe through the Author Whisper Network, one of my friends might say, Zoe did that and it didn't work out for her. Maybe you could ask her. So if you happen to be like 1 degree of Kevin Bacon away from me, you might be able to hear my story. But I didn't write a book about the things that didn't work for me. I wrote a book about the things that do work for me. Writing a series, a nice long series, writing that same series almost exactly again, just tweaking and refining my pitch. That's what Romance Your Brand is about. And I'm very happy to talk about that, because for the authors for whom that resonates, that advice is really useful. The problem with the advice of, here's what didn't work for me, is that it can quickly spiral into negativity. And negativity is so counterproductive to creativity that I don't want to go there. I am an inherently positive person. I did my strengths profile with Becca Syme, who has the Write Better Faster and the Quick Cast here on YouTube, Write Better Faster course and the Quick Cast here on YouTube. And my number 2 strength is positivity. I don't want to dwell in the negativity, and I don't want to dwell in it here in this video either. I was thinking today that today might be a day when someone's thinking, I have to radically shift things up. And I want to say to my author friends and new authors that I might meet through doing this video, I think that today is the day to do exactly what you've done before that you know works. Today is the day to lean into the thing that gives you confidence, the thing that even if you only have 5 or 10 readers at this point who love it, lean into that. Give those 5 or 10 readers right now more of what they have loved from you in the past, and they will be so grateful to you for it. Exactly the same thing. Like, if you have written a best friends to lovers, or a best friend's little sister, or a workplace romance, opposite attract, tension binging off, that whatever the trope is, that your favorite trope, your core story, mine is almost always a marriage and trouble story. I love those. Whatever your core beloved most favorite thing is to write, and that you've had some success with in the past, honor that success, honor those readers that have loved it, and do that thing again. Because right now, when we are in this crisis, when we are in this chaos and great time of great uncertainty, right now, the most certain thing, which is, everything is a little bit of a gamble in writing, but the most certain thing that we can do is something that we've done before, that we know it feels, there's a bit of a muscle memory there with writing those types of books. So that's 1. And 2, the marketing side of it. What has worked before? Set a new book free, for example, for me, would be a much better course for me than doing Facebook ads right now. But if you have had success running a Facebook ad before, do that same thing. Try to replicate that. And the thing about replicating something that we've done in the past is that our expectation for the result has to be what we got in the past, but maybe a little bit better, because we're going to tweak it and we're going to approach it just a little bit smarter this time. If our expectation is what somebody else has achieved, we are going to, if you want to be sure of that, you have to walk exactly in their path. None of us have done that. There's this iceberg metaphor. We're looking at somebody and we see their success, but it's only the very tip of the iceberg. And what we don't see underneath it is, a lot, like sometimes we don't see other pen names, right? We don't see a whole other career, like they have previously were a book blogger, or they previously worked in marketing, or they had a lot of seed money for their project. whatever. There's a lot of reasons, hundreds of reasons, hundreds of different factors why what worked for somebody else, their plan A, did not work for me. What I need to do when I don't know what my next plan should be is I need to dig deep and look at what has worked for me, because the most likely author to be just like me is me. There you go. Those are my thoughts for tonight. I'm a little bit tired. I've had a little bit of wine, and I hope that was positive. If it was, subscribe to my channel and leave me in the comments what you would like me to talk about maybe tomorrow. I have like lots of things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about metadata because, to my surprise, the chapter in Romance Your Brand on metadata is the #1 chapter that people message me about, tag me about on Twitter, because it turns out that metadata is confusing both for readers and for authors, and it can really be a big, it can be a game changer if you get it right in ebook publishing. So maybe I will talk about that tomorrow. But if there's something else you want me to talk about tomorrow, let me know in the comments and I will. And until then, good night and happy writing.